Good Monday. I have missed y'all. We've been on Thanksgiving break, and I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I got a lot of great pictures and videos of some of you helping prepare your Thanksgiving dinner. Thank you for that. I'll be sure to give you your extra credit points if you helped make your Thanksgiving dinner and you haven't emailed your picture or video yet. Please do that as soon as possible so I can get those in my grade book at one time. I'll put it off for a day or two so I can make sure I got everybody's videos. But try to have them done, turned in today. All right, so last week we started working on solving equations. The couple weeks before that we worked on expressions, and you were really good at solving or simplifying those expressions. So these equations shouldn't be too hard. Really the hard part is just remembering all those rules that we've been learning over the past few weeks with integers, you know, how you add and subtract integers, how you multiply and divide integers, how you add and subtract rational numbers. So just make sure you're keeping all that in your mind and not letting it fall out of your ear. So let's get started so we can move on to our lesson for today. I have put a few problems like we've been doing on the top, and then I've put some newer problems on the bottom, and it's not really going to be that big of a deal. We've been working with rational numbers, so I don't think there's going to be any issues with it. So we have number 1 is 4x plus 5 equals negative 23, and remember your main goal is to get that variable by itself. So we need to get rid of that 5 first. It's a positive 5, so we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. Positive 5 and negative 5 equals 0. So we're going to bring down our 4x. And negative 23 and negative 5, our signs are the same, so that means we're going to add and keep the sign of the largest absolute value, which is negative 28. Now we have 4x is equal to negative 28. Right now, 4 is being multiplied by x, so we're going to divide both sides by 4. Have to do the opposite or the inverse operation. This equals 1, so we're just left with 1x is equal to, and negative 28 divided by 4 is negative 7. So x is equal to negative 7. All right, so that one was pretty simple. Y'all did really well with those, and then we threw in some with fractions. So here we have f divided by 12, or f over 12, plus 8 equals 6. So again, we just need to get rid of our constant number. So we're going to get rid of that 8 by subtracting 8 from both sides. This is equal to 0, so we're going to bring this down. F over 12 is equal to positive 6 and negative 8 is equal to negative 2, because one was positive, one was negative. The signs were different, so we subtracted. Now we still need to get f by itself, and right now f is being divided by 12. So the inverse or the opposite operation would be to multiply both sides by 12. 12 divided by 12 is 1, so we're left with just f. And negative 2 times 12 is negative 24. So f is equal to negative 24. Okay, let's look at number 3 here. I want you to notice it is not in the same order, and that's okay. We still need to get that variable by itself. And again, you know with these videos, if you want to work it first and then see if you're right, please pause it and then restart it when you're ready. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We need to get rid of this 8. So it's positive, so we're going to subtract 8 from both sides. This one goes away, and we're left with all of this. Don't forget to bring this negative down. Negative 2/7 h is equal to a positive 11, and negative 8 is a positive 3. Now we still need to get that h by itself. So right now this h is being multiplied by negative 2/7. So we need to divide both sides by negative 2/7. And we know when we have two fractions and we want to divide, we flip the second one and multiply. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to flip it and multiply. Negative 7 over 2. And on the other side is negative 7 over 2. So this cancels out, or it equals 1. And we're just left with 1/8. And we know when multiplying fractions, we just multiply straight across. So we have negative 21 over 2. And we can reduce that because it's an improper fraction, so we need to divide the top by the bottom. So negative 21 divided by 2 is equal to negative 10 1/2. So h is equal to negative 10 1/2. All right, let's look at the next one. We have negative 12 is equal to n minus 8 over 4. So it doesn't matter what order it's in, we still need to get this n by itself. So we can multiply both sides by 4. So that equals 1, so we're left with n minus 8. And 4 times negative 12 is negative 48. Now we still need to get n by itself, and right now 8 is being subtracted, so we need to add 8 to both sides. This one is 0, so that leaves us with just n. And negative 48 plus positive 8, my signs are different, so I'm going to subtract and keep the sign of the largest absolute value, which is negative. And 48 minus 8 is 40. So n is equal to negative 40. Now we have number 5. I see something that looks like distributive property. There's actually two ways you can do this. So I see that my x is being multiplied by 6, so I can divide both sides by 6. Or I can distribute the 6 into the 4x plus 9 and go from there. So I think I'll show you both ways. Let me get another sheet of paper. So I'm just going to put it side by side so we can see how we could work it both ways. Okay, so if we said, well, right now that's being multiplied, so I can just divide both sides by 6. That would equal 1, and I would be left with 4x plus 9 is equal to 12 divided by 6 is 2. And then I could work from there. So I'm going to do negative 9, negative 9. That leaves me with 4x is equal to negative 7. Then I can divide both sides by 4. That leaves me with x is equal to negative 7 over 4. And I can divide negative 7 by 4, and I would get negative 1 3/4. I could do it that way, or I could do this. 6 times 4x is 24x. 6 times 9 is plus 54. And just bring down my equals 12. And then I could subtract 54 from both sides. That leaves me with 24x. And 54 minus 12 is going to be negative 42. Then I divide both sides by 24. And x is equal to negative 1 3/4. So I got the same answer. No matter how I did it, I'm going to get the same answer. So you choose which way you think is the easiest for you to do it. It doesn't matter to me which way you do it as long as you get the right answer. But you can distribute it, or you can divide both sides by 6 and go from there. And remember, your answers aren't always going to be pretty whole number answers. Sometimes they're going to be fractions. They could also be decimals. Okay, let's look at number 6. Oh, there's a decimal. 7.8 plus 5x equals negative 37. So what's important to remember here is that you need to line your decimals up when you add and subtract decimals. So I need to get rid of this one first. So I'm going to do -7/8. And on a whole number, your decimal is always on the end. And you need to subtract -7/8. So that equals 0. We're left with 5x. And my signs are the same, so I'm going to add. So I'm going to get -44.8. Now I need to divide both sides by 5. I don't know what that is, so I'm going to do -44.8 divided by 5. Make sure that your decimal comes up. 5 will go into 44 8 times. You're going to get 4.8. Don't bring the decimal down, sorry. Decimal goes up. Okay, 5 will go into 48 9 times. That leaves you with 3. You can add a 0 and bring it down. 5 will go into 36 times. So, x is equal to -8.96. All right, so let's go to number 7. Remember, the main important part here is to keep your decimals lined up. So we have number 7. X over 4.8 minus 30 is equal to 10. Again, the first thing we need to do is get rid of our constant number, or our number that's not going to change. So we have -30, so we're going to add 30 to both sides. This one goes away, and we're left with x over 4.8. And 10 plus 30 is 40. Now we need to get rid of the 4.8, so x is being divided by 4.8, so we're going to multiply both sides times 4.8. I like to write it like this better, so I'm going to. Remember, when multiplying decimals, you don't have to line up the decimals when multiplying. So 8 times 0 is 0, and 8 times 4 is 32. Put your 0. 4 times 0 is 0, and 4 times 4 is 16. We add those together, and we get 1920. And remember, we have to go back and count our decimals. We have 1, so we're going to go to the end. So our answer is really 192. X equals 192. All right, let's go to number 8. We have 87.1 plus x over 7 is equal to 80.6. So, of course, we need to get rid of our constant number first. It's positive, so we're going to do the opposite, which is -87.1 minus 87.1 over here. This one goes away. We're left with x over 7. Now, I have a positive 80.6 and a negative 87.1. My signs are different, so I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to flip it over so I can see it better. I just see it better that way, so I do it that way. Remember to bring your decimal down. It's equal to 6.5. Now, we still need to get rid of that 7, so we're going to multiply both sides by 7. We're left with x is equal to 6.5 times 7. 7 times 5 is 35. Carry your 3. 7 times 6 is 42. 42 plus 3 is 45. Don't forget to go back and count your decimal places. So it is 45.5. Okay, I hope that you were able to pause the video and see if your answers were right. I hope you didn't forget your rules for decimals and how to multiply decimals and fractions, and you just can't let all that fall out of your ear. So you have an assignment today. Make sure you get that done and turned in, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.